Why do I look like so white I look blue? I don't know why the camera's doing me dirty. Hello everybody, welcome to Mike's Mike. My name is Mike, and for today's video, I thought I'll combine two things that are on my mind. First thing being that I haven't been creative in a while, and second thing is Riverdale. And I mean, where do I even start with Riverdale? Like, I've made videos about it before, it's just, it outdoes itself consistently in terms of just, like, So I had this, in my opinion, fantastic idea where I draw the plot of a TV show or a season from a TV show. So I'm going to be drawing season 3 from Riverdale. Now, specifically season 3, because if I did the whole series, I don't even know how long that video would be, like 7 hours, because just so much weird shit happened. Remember when Betty's dad was a serial killer? And also because season 3 is just a whole lot. Like, there's so much content in there, like, ooh. I went through the synopses of the episodes so far, so there's 11 episodes in season 3, and I rewrote them in my own, like, memories kind of thing, so how I would have remembered it if I could remember it. Alright, so let's start with our 4 main characters. We've got Archie, Betty, Jughead, and Veronica. Now, key in terms of, like, shipping information, like, you know when you order a package and you got shipping information? This ain't that kind of shipping. So Archie's dating Veronica, and I think their tag name was Varchi, but like saying that makes me want to vomit, so maybe that wasn't correct. And Betty's dating Jughead, and their thing is Bughead, which is like more phonetically sound. Those are the main characters, but honestly, in my opinion, the best characters and equally the worst characters are the parents of the main characters. So we've got Archie's parents, we've got Fred, and his one defining characteristic is that he runs a business that they do construction in. Literally, name a single scene that Fred's in that he's not talking about the fucking construction business. And Archie's mum, who I've coined the random redhead because she just comes in to solve lawyer problems and then leaves conveniently. Then for Betty's parents, we've got Hal Cooper, who turned out to be a serial killer. The man in the black hood mask. Jacket. Man in the black jacket. Me. And her mum, Alice Cooper, who is now conveniently in a cult. Jughead's parents, we've got F.P. Jones, who runs or ran, I think at the start of the season he'd been booted off running the Serpents. Jughead runs the Serpents, which is like a bikie gang type of vibe. And Jughead's mum, who I've said is like a non-playable character in a video game, in like an adventure kind of game. Like, she's like there for side quests, but you don't really have to interact with them. And then probably the most outrageous family of them all is the Lodge family. We've got Hiram Lodge, who's conveniently a mob boss. He's like a smaller version of Kingpin from Spider-Man. And Hermione Lodge, and I've written Black Widow, but I don't mean like the cool Black Widow, like the Marvel Black Widow. I mean Black Widow as in the Iggy Azalea, Rita Ora pop song, Black Widow. Then there's also peripheral characters. We've got Josie, who invented singing. We've got Reggie, who gets factually the worst lines in the show. We've got Kevin, who suddenly is in a cult of his own. We've got the Serpent kiddos. Cheryl, who deserves more, and she wears a lot of red. That seems to be like her personality trait. And Tony, who is extremely edgy. Like, I'm trying to think of a single person in this universe more edgy than Tony. No. Okay, so we start in season 3 with Archie on trial for killing some people. I don't even know. I'm not going to explain that. Let's just go with that. Basically, he didn't do it, and one of Hiram's bodyguards did it, which is like super fun, because remember that Archie's dating Veronica, and Hiram is framing Archie for murdering these people because of payback for something Veronica did to Hiram. So realistic. Archie, who factually is my least favourite character in the entire universe of any show, says that he's guilty. And that's because he doesn't want anyone else to suffer on his part, and he goes to juvenile, which seems to be the source of all the homoeroticism in Riverdale. Somewhere around this point in the season, Betty sees her mum and her sister throwing babies into a fire in her backyard. Now, a D-list character in this universe, Dilton Doily, oh my god, D-list Dilton Doily, he's doing some ritual shenanigans with his pal Ben in the forest, and he dies. Now, in prison, Archie tries to escape, but since Hiram literally owns everything in the extended universe of Riverdale, he owns the prison, and he orders the bodyguards, not the bodyguards, the prison guards, to go and bash up everyone. Now, I just wanted to point out that during the Riverdale prison scenes, we get this lovely interaction of Archie fighting with one of the ghoulies, And this guy's in juvie, and he's supposed to look like a juvenile, and he looks honestly 42. Now, Betty and Jughead are like, oh my god, Dilton died, what in fresh hell? And they go to ask Ethel, who is Barb from Stranger Things. Same character, clearly. They go to ask Ethel what the hell's going on because she was friends with Dilton, and Ethel has a seizure for the aesthetic. In this situation, they learn about griffins and gargoyles from Ethel, and they also find out that Ben, the guy that was in the forest with old mate D-list Dilton Doily, says he wants to ascend to the kingdom and he commits suicide. I think he jumped out a window. That seems very Pretty Little Liars season 3 to 5. Okay, then the tea starts spilling. It gets good. All the parents are meeting up for the shit parents club because honestly they don't know how to control their children, and they're all sitting around, and Hermione's saying that the thing that they did as kids, which they would never speak about, is happening again to their children. But what is the thing? I pulled this next sentence straight from Wikipedia because honestly it's my favourite sentence about anything. Archie is in solitary confinement and accepts the warden's offer to participate in trial by combat underneath the prison. Imagine watching season 1, episode 1, and then hearing me say that. Oh my god, this period of season 3 was dark. We also had Veronica opening her burlesque bar underneath Pop's diner. Ethel tries to commit suicide playing Griffins and Gargoyles. This little blue lip thing because they drink this drink and it's like poison. One of the cups isn't poison, one is poison. And she tries to drink the poison one to ascend, whatever that means. I think at this point, everyone was given a copy of G&G, like it was put into all the lockers in Riverdale High, just to, start some shit. Get the kids hallucinating, as you do. Also, Betty tries to get close to this weird character called Evelyn, who's from the farm, and she finds out that her mother Alice, who's in the farm cult, has decided to spill the tea about killing Chick in their house in season 2. Now, I wasn't entirely sure how to spell the name Chick. I was going to say C-H-I-C, but I guess that brother was nothing if not chic. Alright, so everyone's playing G&G. Then we get this fun flashback episode where all the parents are played by the actors of the children, and they're all running around Riverdale High doing shenanigans, playing Griffins and Gargoyles because they were all in the detention club together. Now, I just wanted to point out that Alice tells Betty that she was pregnant with FP's child. Now, if you remember what I said at the start of the video, FP is Jughead's dad, Alice is Betty's mum, Betty and Jughead are dating, and their parents had a baby together. Just Riverdale things. In terms of connection, I think Alice gave the baby up for adoption, and then many years later, that baby turns into a person who rooms with Chick, and then Chick kills him, or he dies and Chick impersonates him, and that's how we get the whole Chick storyline. Never want to say that name ever again. In this flashback, the principal is also playing G&G, and he dies. So there's a murder, and all the parents agreed that they would never talk about the Midnight Club, group of people who are playing G&G, ever again. Until now, because it looks like all the kids are playing Griffins and Gargoyles. At the end of the episode, we jump back to the present day, and Jughead is in the bunker playing Griffins and Gargoyles with blue lips for the aesthetic. Okay, so Betty thinks one of the parents is the Gargoyle King. Then Archie gets branded. Joaquin hooks up with Archie and then stabs him. Cool, remember that. The gang decide to break Archie out of prison. Don't forget there's like 15, 16-year-old kids breaking someone out of prison. And it all works, of course, because it's Riverdale and it involves Veronica dressing up in expensive clothes. Of course, because it's Riverdale. Meanwhile, everybody's having seizures. Betty gets the parents together to interrogate them because she is a detective in her spare time. Veronica finds footage that makes Archie innocent and he gets cleared. However, he decides that he must leave Riverdale because his girlfriend's dad is still trying to kill him. A mood. He breaks up with Veronica. Then he and Jughead decide to create the source material for Beyonce's On the Run world tour by going on the run. Joaquin dies. Peripheral character, gone. Alice and Betty are just chilling in their house, having a fun conversation about La Farm, and then they see the Gargoyle King in their house. Cue screams. Now, following this, Alice gets Betty sent to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy. Now, the Sisters of Quiet Mercy, where do we even start with that? It's like a group of nuns who equally are running a drug scam, doing a gay conversion camp, and like a whole bunch of other shit in this abandoned building. Just watch season 2. So Betty gets to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy and she discovers that all the patients or inmates, I guess, as they are all painting the Gargoyle King, and she's like, not this shit again. So, back on the Run World Tour, Archie goes to a farm and hooks up with a random farm chick. Jughead is running around the abandoned town, finding out that kids are playing Griffins and Gargoyles, and Hiram's reach is never ending. As it turns out, random farm chick hookup is working for Hiram, and she alerts Hiram that Archie's there. He tries to come and get them, but then they yeet out of there and run along to the next town. Betty's like being forced to eat Fizzle Rocks, which is like Riverdale's version of methamphetamine for kids specifically. She tries to escape, I think, and also Veronica opens a casino in her burlesque bar. Veronica opens a casino in her burlesque bar. Get them coins, sis, I guess. Next up, we have all the girls having a seizure, like a mass seizure, except for Cheryl because she's a skinny legend. Reggie, who we've established gets the worst lines in the show, finds out that Hiram is creating the drugs in the abandoned school turned prison in the South Side. Meanwhile, back on the Run World Tour, we get to meet Jughead's mum, who we've established is an NPC. And she does what every unnecessary tertiary character does and steers the heroes where they need to go. And that involves Archie yeeting out of there and Jughead heading back to Riverdale. At the Sisters of Quiet Mercy, Detective Betty finds out that the Fizzle Rocks are causing the Gargoyle King hallucinations, and she tells Ethel this, Barb from Stranger Things, and she frees Ethel before they free everyone else. Riverdale gets quarantined by Hiram, much like Springfield gets quarantined in the Simpsons movie with the big-ass dome over it. That's pretty much like exactly what's happening here. Cool, so Archie now works in a forest. I don't even know what the fuck he's doing in the forest. The main takeaway is that he gets attacked by a bear and he goes through this like whole bunch of annoyingly long hallucinations that I could not care less about. Veronica gets the serpents to protect her burlesque bar, and Betty gets the nuns to agree to testify against Hiram, but then she finds out that they all committed suicide. Then Archie comes back to Riverdale to save Veronica and take the title of worst plotline away from her. Alice gets rid of Betty's college funds as a donation to the farm, and Betty's like mad as hell, and she starts talking to her serial killer dad, who's in some kind of like weird, like high security prison that isn't even that high security, and you can just like talk to these serial killers behind glass, but it's just the one serial killer in this huge underground bunker. So Hal, her dad, is all like, I won't sign the papers saying that your mum is cooked and you got to get your funds back unless you give me a copy of Griffins and Gargoyles, because I have mad respect for the Gargoyle King because he'd really be out here killing people. Fangs, who's another peripheral tertiary character, was in the Serpent Gang, and then he infiltrates the Gargoyle Gang and he tips off Jughead and co, Jughead et al, that there's a meetup happening and the Gargoyle King's going to be there. So they crash the party and they find out that the Gargoyle King is Tallboy, another peripheral character that was in the Serpent Gang. And when I say I was disappointed by that, let me tell you, I was disappointed. I was like season 3 of Pretty Little Liars when you find out that every fucking person in the universe is A. Tallboy tries to escape and gets killed. They try to cover that up. Then Hiram is shot. Veronica thinks Archie low-key did it and breaks up with him. Hermione appoints FP to sheriff, lest we forget that FP was previously running a bikie gang and Hermione is the mayor. Cool. Claudius is found dead. Who's Claudius, you ask? I'm not going to go there. Watch season 1 and season 2, or watch a recap video, or Google who's Claudius Riverdale, because I can't be bothered. Cool, so now we're up to the most recent episode, and it's very noir, very 1920s detective, which is very on brand for Betty and both Veronica, who's just decided that she likes wearing hats. Veronica tasks Jughead with finding out who shot her dad. He questions Hermione, who says Hiram was having an affair with this random blonde lady at this random hotel. We find out that this random blonde lady was faking water reports that would have showed that the Fizzle Rocks runoff from the prison manufacturing facility is causing the seizures. Cool. Oh yeah, also when they were looking for this person, Jughead and Betty also discover Cheryl's mum's brothel. Also, update, Archie's still annoying at this stage, and Josie has to like have a little pep talk with him to tell him to get back into music. Now, hopefully that doesn't turn into more singing, because this show has too much singing. Now, all is well in the world. Archie's doing great, until he decides that he needs to kill Hiram. He needs to finish the job that someone else started and go and kill Hiram to kill his inner demons. who've taken the form in the small kingpin mob boss. Somehow, he gets into this hospital and it appears to be abandoned with patients in it, which is just, again, realistic. And he goes to kill Hiram with a gun, and then someone else comes in to kill Hiram with a gun, and Archie's like, nah, I'm gonna kill you instead. Absolute scenes in the hospital. Sweet Pea, who has been following Hermione because Jughead told him to, has just discovered that she is having an affair in some cabin in the woods with Sheriff Minetta, who we thought was decapitated in season 2. Again, I'm not gonna give any more details. Now, in this little meetup that they're having, she tells Sheriff Minetta to go and finish the job and get Hiram 6 feet under. Finish it, Chief. So that's who Archie shot. He shot Sheriff Minetta. Now, Jughead finds out about all this from Sweet Pea, tells his dad, and his dad's like, yeah, I knew, because, bruh, I already did shot Hiram the first time. T. So Veronica and Archie are now gang, and Hiram and Archie are also gang. And then, to round out the episode, Hermione kills Sheriff Minetta. Just to, get them loose ends done. And I just cannot get a read on this season. Where's it gonna go? She's just been renewed for season 4, and honestly, where to from here? They have to go to outer space, surely. That's it for this video. Apologies that it's quite long. I actually put quite a bit of effort into it, so if you made it this far, please hit that like button. If you're watching Riverdale, comment your thoughts, please. Am I the only one losing my mind? I know I'm not the only one, because I watch videos about people ranting about Riverdale, and now I've joined the masses. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Peace out. Bye.